Alright. Shit. Hi, everyone. It is me, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Skyworld Amara here, and me, Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld Michelle here. And today we're going to talk about how we never gotten in a bind with ownership or double right with the Toei business. Now, the first thing is we don't have anything in our we don't got anything in our films that they have ownership or double right over. And some folks will think that we're lying and making shit up, but we don't have anything that they have ownership or double right over. And from what I've heard, if there's any truth to it or not, is that Dawnland doesn't have fair work. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. So anyway, the grounds to why we never gotten in a bind with the Toei business or any other business over things, because we don't have anything in our uploads, live streams, or shorts that they have ownership over though. And if you don't believe us, go back and look at every upload, every live stream and short we ever made. You're not going to see any songs or anything from any drawing films or plays or anything they have ownership or double right over. You know? And yeah. So that's why we never gotten in a bind with the Toei business over ownership or double right, because we don't got nothing in our films that they would, somehow being on Euro and then out of luck, see your films and then go into it and then say, hey, we own that. We didn't give you right to upload that or whatever, And I know someone's going to say dolls, but here's what I've learned. And if there's any truth to it or not, I don't know. That dolls were made for anyone to gather with, play with, or whatever. So it would be hard for any business to get double right over every single doll ever made. Now, I believe that a business has the lawful right to make the dolls. And if you don't got that deal, then you're making fakes. So, yeah. We don't want to get in a bind with ownership or double right. So that's why you don't see anything. No songs or plays or drawing shows or drawing films or even live films or live shows that Toei has ownership or double right over. And a lot of folks seem to think that fair work will shield them from any of this. And it does not. So, yeah, even if the Toei business comes around and looks at our fairway, they're not going to see, not going to see any of that, not going to see their drawing shows or drawing films or live shows or live films or plays or anything they got ownership of double right over. It would just be a blow of their time, and they'd be less likely to flag it for ownership or double right because there's nothing in there they have ownership or double right over. Yeah, you're right about that, Sailor Uranus. You're right about that, Sailor Skyworld. You're right about that, Amara. So many folks out there do like to rant and bitch about the Toei business and them upholding their ownership and double right over things and saying, hey, I got fair work. Well, I don't know this is true, and it's most likely bullshit. But someone says if there's any truth to it, and you can't really trust what the interweb says anyway. Some folks say that that Dawnland doesn't have fair work, and I don't know if that's true or not. I do not know. So before you start saying that we're lying or making shit up, I don't know about Doulberight and Dawnland. I do not know. But I do know one thing: they got ownership in Doulberight in that land like any other land. And that's why we don't upload anything they have ownership of Doulberight over. First off, we don't really have the tools to be uploading anything from films or plays or drawing shows or drawing films or live shows or live, films or anything that they would have ownership of Doulberight over, fully or halfly. So that's why we never gotten in a bind with them. And let's be earnest about that, And someone out there, might say that, oh, well, fair work will shield you. Well, tell that to, ask the asking thing to everyone out there that ever gotten flagged for ownership in Doulberight that fair work helped them or not. I don't know. Anyway, at the end of the day, that's why we never gotten in a bind with ownership in Doulberight with the Toei business or any other business that happened to have whatever ownership of Doulberight over any Sailor Moon things. And that would also be the ATHELING NAOKO's business, which has ownership over Sailor Moon as well. How much? I don't know. But I do know that they will be less likely to do anything to our uploads, live streams, or shorts, since there's no films. There's no shows, no drawing shows, no drawing films, no songs, no nothing. There's no nothing. So, yeah. And that's what you gotta do. If you don't want to get in a bond of ownership in Doulberight, then don't put anything that you don't ownership in Doulberight over. And earnestly, I don't trust fair work. Now, if you trust fair work, that's your own business. Great for you, but I don't trust it. And so that's why. And I know someone's going to say that we're lying, we're making it up, But we never gotten flagged for ownership of Doulberight from the Toei business or ATHELING NAOKO's business or whatever, so there might be some truth to it then. Well, you're right, Sailor Neptune. You're right, Sailor, SeaWorld. Or Blue World, I guess. You're right, Michelle. That's why we never got in a bind with the Toei business or the ATHELING NAOKO's business over it, because there's nothing in our uploads, live streams, or shorts that they can say they have ownership over. Oh, they can say names, but if that was true, anyone would be flagged for putting names of things in their uploads, live streams, or shorts, or podcasts then. And since that never really ever seems to be a thing. So at the end of the day, that's how we never got in a bind with ownership of Doulberight with the Toei business, with the ATHELING NAOKO's business. And give this film a like, share and playlist it, and we'll see you later.